Hello and welcome to Think Share. My name's Zach. I'm here to bring to been thinking about, sharing about, talking about, listening to, reading about the Doesn't Belong Math class. For your new to the channel, I invite you to subscribe. Today I was listening to Gary Vaynerchuk's new audiobook, Crushing It. So back in the early 2000s, or maybe later 2000s, Gary came out with Crush It, which was one of the books that a lot of different people have said has made a huge difference in terms of pushing them to go for their passions in terms of career development, and choosing to figure out what they're going to do with their 40 hours a week or more. And Crushing It, I've been looking forward to, because I think one of the things he is always talking about is you can write a book and be talking about social media and be irrelevant in the next like 6 months. So I've been excited to hear this follow up, Crushing It. So Gary is he's a YouTuber. He is a entrepreneur. He's a CEO. He's a best-selling author. He's a podcaster. Anything social media, he knows his stuff. There is really nothing you could talk to him about in terms of social media or applications, apps, that he is probably not more knowledgeable than you are. It doesn't matter the platform. He knows his stuff. And I'm considering why he does not have a bigger following than the Logan and the Jake Pauls of the world. And I think first off is that those other guys, the Pauls, they're about entertainment. Just for live, keep crushing it. Oh, sorry for the bad service. What? The only reason I really watched them was because I wanted to know what all the fuss was about. So I watched them. What I can say more likely for sure is that those two guys are probably not making a difference for many people out there. If you were to go to somebody to find advice, or to go to a channel to find answers for questions you've been dealing with, I'm really curious as to how many people would actually go to those two guys. However, Gary Vaynerchuk, if you are, if you're between the ages of 10, maybe even less, I don't know, maybe like 10 and on your deathbed, it doesn't matter how old you are, Gary can answer questions. So one of the things I think a lot of people are battling with these days is career. I think so many people have been grown up with parents that were under the impression that they needed to pay their dues to live the good life, and paying your dues meant literally spending 40 years of your life or more working at a job that you may or may not enjoy. If you don't like it, tough, because you got to pay your dues. How's it going, Alex? Good to see you. And I think one of the things that Gary's really helping millennials and younger people see is that we don't have to do it the way the generation before us did. There's now so much of an audience for anyone out there. It doesn't matter who. There's so much of a free platform between Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook, YouTube, all. I feel like I'm missing a major one. Twitter, Vine. All these different things are free platforms that people have the ability to build a following through. And because of that, we all have equal opportunity to turn it into a business, turn it into an opportunity for ourselves to make money, besides just working for someone else, and to become entrepreneurs. And what I really love about Gary Vaynerchuk is how much he clearly cares. I think the first place I found him was in 2013. He was on the cover of Success magazine. And he talked about his book, Jab, 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 Right Hook. And the main idea behind that, actually I haven't read the book, but I think I get the gist of it, is the jab, jab, jab. It's a boxing reference. So the idea is you hit lightly, 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 and then hook them. And the three light hits in terms of business and entrepreneurship is you give content, give free stuff, and it's sort of like you're building a relationship, and then the right hook is sort of a person asking for you to do something. So for me, the way that might look is giving giving advice, giving information, teaching, making something funny or entertaining, and then asking you to buy my book or something, or asking for you to subscribe, or asking for you to find a friend that might find value with my channel, and then me ask you to subscribe or have them subscribe. So the right hook is the ask, and the jab, 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 that's the part that is you are bringing value to them rather than them bringing value to you. So one of the ways that one of the reasons I really love Gary is how much value he brings to all of his viewers. He does a video every single day, literally has a cameraman follow him around and shares all these different, it could be a rant in the back of his taxi ride. How's it going, Asim? Thank you for joining. He was talking about, it could be a rant in the back of a car ride. It could be a moment where he just drops some serious wisdom on somebody. Like, I really enjoyed the interview he had with Backpack Kid. So Backpack Kid, for most of you know, and I figure for some value here is if any of you know the Backpack Kid, you know his dance. It's where they go like this, and the Backpack Kid, he wore a backpack in the initial time that he did the dance. And one of the interesting things of that was, Gary was talking about how to take advantage of this opportunity in time and really use it for your future and give yourself an opportunity. So he said, look, man, I forget what the kid's name was, but he said, look, you should go create a list of all the backpack companies that exist, period. Maybe there's 500 of them that are like obvious. And you should call up every single one of them and say, hey, I'm the most searchable person with the word backpack in it. I am the Backpack Kid. That's my Instagram name. That's my Vine name. That's my Facebook, like YouTube. Like, that's me. I would like to ask you if you'd like to have me wear your backpack. What are you willing to offer me to wear your product? And call every single company and say, you're going to give me money? You're going to give me stuff? Or are you going to give me backpacks? Like, I don't care. What do you want to give me? And use that as an opportunity to make money for yourself and, have that eventually be something that you can passively earn. I think, I don't know how's it going, Courtney? Sometimes I can't tell if I can speak for my generation and speak for the people that are somewhat younger than me, but I often feel like I have this opportunity that a lot of people are sort of on the same wavelength with me, that really anyone these days can make a living off of social media. And a lot of my belief in that has come from Gary Vaynerchuk. And I think one of the real idea of that I love that he preaches and teaches to people is that so many people that have felt caught up in the 9 to 5, this 9 to 5 idea, 9 to 5 wasn't always something that people looked on as a bad thing. And I think it's grown this stigma because people are realizing that they don't have to do it that way. And I think as a whole generation, I really feel like our whole generation is starting to embrace this idea that we don't have to do what our parents did. We don't have to dedicate ourselves to a single career and build that for 40 years and make money. We can find ways to do it more passively, less actively. And some of the sacrifices of that might be, if you're someone that wants to have a following on YouTube or social media, is, you're gonna have to document a lot of your life and you're gonna have to grind it out quite a bit to really be successful. But at the same time, you have a pretty awesome opportunity that it's just such a level playing field for all these people. Hello, Reed. Did you know why I can't make you video now? Did you know why I can't make you video nowadays? I'm not sure what the answer to that question would be, Asim. Reed, are you siblings with a brother that has me in class? I'm curious if you're related to the person that I'm thinking of that also has your last name. But yeah, so yeah, that would be the person. I didn't want to say it out loud. I wanted to let them. Oh, nice. Glad to hear it. So for all of you, if any of you have enjoyed some of the things that I talk about on this channel, I highly invite all of you to check out Gary Vaynerchuk. One of the main differences between me and him, he knows this stuff way better than I do. He's far more motivational. If any of you have considered creating a social media following to make a career, some of the daily actions that I take are based on a lot of the advice that I received from him. Because I don't have the results behind it, I'm not going to preach the same way that he does, but he's used social media to his advantage and taken his parents' wine company from about $1 million a year to $60 million a year, and he's created his own company, VaynerMedia, and I don't know how many millions that a year they make, but he employs a couple hundred people. My parents, says that quite a YouTube. What I do, please give me suggestions. My parent says that quite a YouTube. Asim, I'm not really sure what you mean by that. My parents, I'm guessing that you are trying to say that you should quit YouTube. That your parents are saying that you should quit YouTube, and you'd like suggestions. So I'm also guessing that you haven't had some type of results that, okay. So my question back for you is when they say you should quit YouTube, what does that mean? Does that mean you're currently making videos and you're not having any monetary results from making YouTube videos, and they're saying you should quit because you're not making any money? Or are I'm not sure quite what you mean by that. Say Tupac, me against the world, inspirational. No matter how hard it gets, stick your chest out, keep your head up, and handle it. Yeah, this actually really relates to that's a great line, Poke Go Bros. What Poke Go Bros? I'd love to know what your name is. I like math. Do you? Yeah, I love math. I use it all the time. What was I gonna say? Oh, so for a lot of my a lot of you subscribers out there that have seen me before, or you follow fairly daily, you would know that Ty Speaks is one of the other YouTubers I work with. He lives like 20 minutes from me, and he was talking similarly about that Tupac quote you just pointed out. He made a video today talking about what was the name of it? He was asking about what your why is. So I think a lot of people that have dreams out there, their why, like why they do it, is really the thing that carries through them, and allows them to keep pushing through things. Because in India, people don't understand the importance of YouTube. Actually, I'm now class 10th. That's interesting. So, Asim, I'm curious as to how far you've made it in YouTube. I wish I had like an iPad or something right now so I could check out your channel, but I'll have to check it out after this live stream. But I'm curious, what kind of results have you had, and what are you trying to build? Wait, Asim, you're the positivity channel, right? Blanking out right here. I don't think I can log out a live stream and see it at the same time, but aren't you're the one that Positivity Academy, right, Asim? What was the other question? Oh, so Poke Girl Bros, yeah. So that Tupac quote, the reason I loved what Ty Speaks was talking about today was the idea of a why is, okay, good, yeah, it is you. Yeah, so Asim, this is what I would say to your parents, and I mean, I don't know, Rita can't say that. I would not say he's my favorite student, and I don't have a favorite student, and that's why. Asim, I would say to your parents, first off, I don't know how long you've been doing it, but I think that any person that's working on anything goal-oriented, they should have a pretty reasonable amount of time to fail. And I don't know if it's that you're living with them and they're like, hey, go get a job. Kind of how it is in America sometimes is it's sort of like, hey, you need to go get a job and start earning money. and you have this much time to do it. If you've only been doing something for a month, I think it's fair to say, hey, you should give me more than a month to fail at this. I mean, I've been going on for I'm in month 10 on the ThinkShare, and I just hit 500 subscribers. I mean, I just started kind of grinding out some of the work to find and create more subscribership. But at the same time, you might want to have your own personal goals, and some of the things you can say is like, hey, these are my goals. In this amount of time, I plan to be making this amount of money, and if I'm not doing that by then you can say I told you so. Then maybe I'll quit. But I think no matter what it is, like, if you know I say you are someone that is in India, and you're studying math, or you're learning about math in university, and any student knows that the first time that they see something is probably they might not get it the first time. So the question is, how many times are you allowed to do something before it's starting to be held against you for getting it wrong? I think you should be able to do the same type of math problem maybe 10 times before I might, as a teacher, that I might start to expect you being able to get it. If not, it's either motivation, talent, distraction, or like attention. There's a lot of different factors that could be factoring in if you're not getting it after the 10th time. For YouTube, not making money, that could be years. And thank you, Poke Go Bros. Gary Vaynerchuk says, it took him, I think, like 4, 5, 6 years before he get anything out of YouTube. And he was on Twitter before Twitter was, this major platform. So you might want to consider giving yourself a timeline, as well as you might want to consider giving, like, asking your parents what's the timeline they would expect you to accomplish things. And I think the interesting thing is, right now you're having a conversation with someone across seas in the live time. That's pretty powerful, and that hasn't existed with this like capacity, this speed, this capability, this opportunity. None of this has been available in previous decades. This is new stuff. So you can educate them more on YouTube. You could share with them your goals, your dreams, your vision. You could share with them some of the things that you've heard from other YouTubers, some of the things that you've read that have allowed you to believe. I think a lot of my family support me, and I've been lucky to have that. And I think one of the other things is I'm always talking about it. And when I find something that I think will help them relate to my vision, I'll share that with them. Like, I offered to buy my father-in-law the new Gary Vee book because I thought he would really enjoy it and he might gain a lot from it. Let me come back to some things that have been said here. Poke Go Bros, I don't play Xbox anymore, and I don't have a live account. And I have yet to play Fortnite yet, and part of that's because I'm afraid of being addicted, so I don't plan on playing Fortnite anytime soon. I'm glad you think my hat is cute. Favorite movie of all time? I love how off topic your questions are, but they stretch me quite a bit. Favorite movie of all time is probably either Inception or Interstellar or The Dark Knight by all three of those were directed by Christopher Nolan. Inception is about or The Matrix. Those are my top ones. I like a good psychological thriller. Actually, Fight Club I really liked as well. So to answer that question, it might have to be based on genre. I don't know that I could. I don't know that I could give you my just pure favorite. There's a lot of movies that if you put it in front of me, that I would watch it hands down. I might allow myself to get distracted, but I'm thinking Interstellar, Inception, Dark Knight, Fight Club. I would happily put my phone down from almost whatever I'm doing to watch those. My favorite book is your book. Wait, PokeGo Bros, I didn't know you had my book. I still don't know what your identity is. My academic results of school is not so good because I am busy on research. What I can do. Many scientists are failed in school, but they create history. That's interesting, Asim. What can I do? How many scientists? I mean, I think if you can keep developing your confidence around what the value you find there is in YouTube, I think that that could make a big difference for how your parents perceive your business venture of YouTube. Whoa, that is super bright. That is not what I want. Oh, it's even brighter. I'm trying to dim this down a little bit or something. It's too much. Too much. Stay up. All right, that's a little better actually. Okay. Um, Ty, I was just talking about you, man. Um, yeah, it's because you're doing a lot of research. Um, Asim, I don't know too much about why grades would be low because of a lot of research, but I'm guessing you're in like a doctoral program. Funniest prank I've ever done. Let's say PokeGo Bros. Funniest prank? Not much of a prankster. Um, Honestly, the reason I don't really like pranking people that much is because I don't like being pranked that much. And I hate the idea of crying wolf too many times and then not being taken seriously. So I don't have a great answer for that one. Um, Mine is eat my brother. Would you eat like his fingernails or something? I guess I would technically be eating your brother. Interstellar, hands down. Okay. I think, yeah, I'm in between Interstellar and Inception. I think because both of them really play with your mind. Both of them really play with sort of like an alternate reality. And I mean, alternate realities really mess with me. And I mean, that's why I also really love The Matrix. Ty Speaks, you play 2K. What's up, Alex? Did you think I became a scientist? Asim, I'm not sure what you've become, so I don't know. I don't think I've thought you have become a scientist. Playing Fortnite with PokeGo Bros while watching this. I want to know who PokeGo Bros is. I po- PokeGo Bros has been all up in these live chats all the time. When I was with Ty Speaks after our that event that we came to, I think both times PokeGo Bros was on there. A Quiet Place. I've heard of that. I don't know what that's about, but I'll have to check that out. The other night we were trying to figure out what movie to watch because we were just trying to chill on a Friday night, and we ended up watching this movie called, I think it was Samsara or Sasamra or something. And please motivate me. So Asim, the question is, what do you want to be motivated for? And coming back to what Ty was talking about on his channel earlier, is what's your why? Like, if you want to be motivated, like, what's the why behind it all? So, like, this is what I'll say. The reason that I do YouTube is because one of the things I love doing is talking to people that want to hear me or people that trust me enough to give them evidence, advice, information that is going to benefit them. So you got to ask yourself, why would you be doing YouTube? Part of the reason that I want to continue building this network, one is because I love it. Two is because I know that if I keep hammering away at this, if I keep grinding out the hours that I'm putting in here, and if I keep building a subscriber and a fan base, eventually I wouldn't necessarily have to show up at school every day to teach. I would get to teach people that want to learn from me every day, and find more people that are interested in hearing my direct message rather than just the math that I'm capable of teaching. So my why is because it will change my flexibility of location, right? As long as I have an internet connection, I can do a live stream. As long as I have internet access and I can upload something, I can put on a video. And eventually I can get, after enough time and enough effort, I can accomplish taking the same amount of salary that I could as if I was, as I'm teaching. So you got to ask yourself what's worth it to you. For me, it's location so that I can be wherever I want, pretty much do whatever I want, and still be able to make the amount of money that I'd like to make. I would love to be able to have kids in a couple years and be able to be a stay-at-home father and not have to go to work and hang out with my kids all day. Like, that is what I would love to be doing. I would love to be also traveling, doing speaking engagements, inspiring people that are interested in the type of message that I have to bring. And I really enjoyed writing my TED Talk, and I really enjoyed delivering it, talking about it after. I've been loving talking about the ideas in my book, and because I love doing all those things, I want to find more people that are interested in implementing them into their lives. And I love the idea of coaching people on how to implement those into their lives. So you got to ask yourself, what's your why? If you don't have a strong why, then you're going to ask me to motivate you. If you have a strong enough why, it won't matter what I have to say because you're not going to need that. So coming back to your question, if you want me to motivate you, it's to really do a good job of answering what your why is. So to even dig deeper, so one of the things I learned from Dean Graziosi from his book, Millionaire Success Habits, was he said, first, what's your why? Second, I want you to dig, he said dig 7 levels deep. So my why is location and being able to make the same salary doing what I love. So that's 1. 2 is because, and the reason that why that's important to me is because I want to be able to spend the amount of time that I have on this earth with the people that I want to, on my own terms. And the reason why that's important to me is because I think that by the end of my life, if I have lived as many moments with a if I've lived as many moments as I could on my own terms, I will have lived to the highest potential that my life could have gone. And the reason why that's important to me, so I'm 4 layers deep now, is because I think one of the challenges of life is living our full potential, and to come away from a basketball game and come off the court and say, oh man, I could have put in a lot more effort in that third quarter, would have made a difference. That would be disappointing to me. And the reason I do not want to leave this earth knowing that I could have put more effort in is because I do not want to have regret on my deathbed saying I could have put more in. This short life of mine that I was given, I didn't give it my all. I do not want to have that regret. And the reason that I don't want to have that regret is because I think regret might be the worst feeling in the world. And I do not want to, on one of the last days that I have on this short opportunity on earth, I do not want to have the worst feeling in the world. I want to have the best feeling on the earth, in the world, on my last day, my last hour, knowing that I left it all here, feeling satisfied that I've come as close to as I could have of reaching my potential and influencing the people on earth and leaving behind a legacy, leaving the planet a better place than I found it. So what I just went through, I'm not sure how many levels I just went through, but I asked myself, what is my reason why? And then after each of those, I answered, what is the reason for why that and why that? And the idea is that after 3 or 4 of the first levels, you're coming from your head and sort of logic-based thinking. Once you get, I think he said 3, 4, 5 layers deep, you start coming from the heart instead of your head. And if you're able to come from the heart and really what's burning inside of you, that is when you are unstoppable in whatever it is that your goals are. And then you are not asking people to motivate you. So I ask you, Asim, go dig deep in your journal. And I invite you to make a YouTube video about it. I think it would be a great topic. Say, what's your why for this? Dig 7 layers deep. Do it live on camera. I just thought of all that. I've done the exercise before, and I think it comes out a little bit different every time. But I would say dig 7 layers deep for what is your why for having a YouTube channel. If you can come up with that, I think most of the time, it's a little weird saying it in front of a live audience, and I think before tears have definitely come out, and I'm also a little bit tired, so it's possible that's why. But if you're doing it right, I think tears will start coming out of your face, and I think you'll really see the big picture of why you're interested in doing YouTube at all. Let me come back to some of these comments. Let's see. So please motivate me. Just answered that one. I'm not what you want, but what this channel needs. Is that a dragon? Stay weird. Did you want talks with my parents? I don't want to talk with your parents. The how doesn't matter when your why is strong enough. Do you think my brain should stay weird? Well, I think all our brains have a certain level of weird. And do you think my brain should stay weird? I try not to should on people, so I'm not going to say what your brain should or should not do. Is this your dream job? I just had career day. It was good. I would say my dream job is, I would say being able to show up every day, maybe live streaming, being able to announce 24 hours in advance or 48 hours in advance my schedule for live streaming, and then showing up and having a couple key topics and just doing question and answer. That would be my dream job, because as you all know, you go into math class and most of your students probably want to learn about what you have to say that day, and you are talking about a curriculum that you're asked to provide. And I get to create my own curriculum, and I get to teach, and I get to educate, and I get to coach people in what they're interested in. And there's nothing more inspiring as an educator than working with people that are interested in the questions that they're asking, and they're interested in hearing what you have to say. There's nothing better for an educator. So yes, I would say this probably is my dream job. And yeah, I want to be a life coach, because obviously someone that is receiving life coaching is they're people that are interested in taking coaching on what you have to say, versus, not all math students care about what you have to say. I'm cute and I'm handsome. Thank you, Poke Rose. My wife agrees with you. Would you ever do another TED Talk if invited? Yeah, I definitely would. I actually contacted the people that I did a TED Talk with last year. They were all set for speakers this year, but I've thought about doing another one. You should grow a beard. It would look nice. Poke Bros, I disagree with you on that one. I've grown some facial hair. It just doesn't come out the way I would hope it would. I just converted a troll. Can we be friends now? I see that you're referencing what Libby Easton did. We don't want to be 200 years old on our deathbed saying regretted life. Leave it all out on the table, my man. You have the control to direct your own life. Why do you take every comment so literal? I think I take every comment so literal because language is important to me. So the very first chapter, first idea of Ideas Over Coffee is you gotta be, if you're more specific and literal and careful with the words that you choose, that can impact the way that you think, and it can impact the way that you act. And if you are able to directly use the words, you can use language to your advantage, or you can use language to your disadvantage. And the more literal you use them, I think the easier it is to have thoughts that are empowering, and it's easier to go where you want. I think a lot of people say things they don't mean, and so they have life circumstances that they don't want when in fact they caused them. So gusta baseball y tú. Literal, you don't take that comment literal. Why would I not take that comment literal? It's how I roll. Yay! You're funny. I really like you. Well, thank you, Reed. Reed, I think this is the first time I'm seeing you in the chat here on the live stream. What I needed some chocolate. Thank you for dealing with my chewing. The dark chocolate ones. Reed, I'm curious as to what you think of this channel and/or questions you might have for me. I think that was all I had to talk about for today. It was just going on a positive rant about Gary Vaynerchuk. I feel like someone that's really impacted my life. I've said before that Gary V is my coffee. I just feel like if I wake up, usually my morning routine is I roll out of bed within about 7 seconds of my alarm going off, walk towards the bathroom, use the bathroom, and usually I'll either go grab like a glass of water, or I will maybe start coffee because my wife, Alyssa, she drinks it a bit more than I do. But if I watch Gary Vee first thing in the morning, I'm all set. I don't need coffee. I don't need substances to wake up. Cringe. My mom and brother watches you. I did not know that. I'm curious as to what other things they would ask me. Now I do. Well, thank you, Reed. Feel free to ask me in the comments anytime if you have a topic you'd like me to discuss. Oh, you know what? Another one I wanted to talk about today, and I'll have to throw us in the comments, so it's 37 minutes in, is recently I've been following this other YouTuber, Elizabeth. Oh, I forget what her last name. Oh, it's Catherine Elizabeth, I think it is. And she did a vlog about going to Boston to do her accepted Students Day. And I thought to myself, oh, she's coming to Boston. I'm pretty sure she's not from here. They flew in, so they must be coming from a distance away. I forget where she goes to school. And I forgot this is the time of year when a lot of different students are making choices for their career. And it seemed like a really perfect day to think and talk about career and the direction that a lot of their lives are going to be going through. And, I think college is a bit more than just an educational opportunity. One of my other YouTuber friends, I can say Educate Society, he talked about going to university. He's from Canada, and someone had asked him about like his thoughts on choosing a career out of high school, and I thought he had an interesting answer. He was looking at doing psychology, and I thought the best answer to this question, I think, is someone was asking what they should major in. I think you should definitely go with what you're interested in. At the same time, if you think of it like a business transaction, going to college, yes, you'll gain some education, but I think probably one of the most important things a lot of people are going to get out of college is being off on their own, not living with their parents, and sort of having an opportunity to see how they do when no one's watching. So, I mean, some students still have the presence of parents in their life when they go to college, but, I would Skype with my parents like every couple days when I was 45 minutes away at UMass Dartmouth, and then when I was like an hour and a half, 2 hours away at UMass Amherst. And I think the valuable part of college for me was being off on my own, and I was the only one to hold me accountable versus I think a lot of high school students, their parents are on them every day about doing homework and getting good grades. But when you're off on your own, you sort of develop a work ethic that you can't unless you have like very hands-off parents. So that's one thing, is you learn a lot about your own personal work ethic, and you have the opportunity to either really flourish or really faceplant. And I think a lot of people do either one. And some people are able to find a good set of friends that will help them make choices that work for their education. I think the other part, and I think this is the overrated parts, I don't think we learn a ton about the specific content areas. I'll say that I'm super good at math because of all those courses, but I mean, there's still a ton of stuff I don't remember, even after doing well on a lot of tests and quizzes and stuff. My GPA was a 3.03 or something. And, I would say the main thing I got out of engineering at UMass Amherst was I'm capable of taking mostly any equation and figuring out how to apply it where necessary. And that's one of the hardest parts of college is really using your content in the way that it's designed or the way it was purposed. But I would say when people are considering their majors, I would say learn about whatever is going to give you the best financial head start. If you're choosing to go to college, you're paying for it, unless it's full scholarship. Even then, I would consider it as an opportunity to open doors for you to make money, because you don't need college education to just live life. It's really all an opportunity to learn a lot. But because information is so free now, you don't need to pay anyone to learn a ton about anything. You can learn pretty much your entire engineering degree if you wanted to. You could do the entire thing by watching YouTube, showing up to college classes without being enrolled. UMass Amherst, I had my biggest class was 500, my smallest class was 12, and that was only by senior year, but most of them still had 50 plus all the way through junior year almost. So if you really want to learn math, it's all learning by yourself. You don't need a college degree to prove those things. Sadly, I think a lot of people and a lot of organizations and just organizations require college degrees, but I really don't think they're necessary in terms of content. I think we're absolutely capable of learning content on our own. So coming back to making your decision about your major, really, I would choose whatever's going to give you the biggest head start coming out of college. I think engineering was great for me because it gave me training and it gave me, a title of having an engineering degree that propelled me into having a lot of different opportunities. I was able to go into math teaching really easily. I was able to be a software engineer. I could have been a manufacturing engineer. I think that if you want to learn a lot about something that interests you, I would say don't wait till college. Start learning about it now. If you're interested in being a YouTuber, you should have started a YouTube channel last week. So don't let college be an excuse or a reason to not start something yet. My brother-in-law, Matt, I would give him a lot of crap for not trying to sell his art and making enough art to sell before he went to college. He's like, well, that's why I'm going to college, to learn this stuff. I was like, no, just do it and fail at it and learn on the job. And I mean, that's how we learn most stuff, is on the job. Let me come back to some of these questions. Let's see. You're supposed to have a baseball tomorrow. I don't really follow the weather that much, so I couldn't tell you about the game. I don't see why not. I don't know anything about the weather. Brother watches you. Glad to hear it. You seem like a cool math teacher. I hope I have you. Reed, what grade are you in? Poker, you just won a Fortnite game. He carried me. I hope you reach people how to play Fortnite in class. I challenge you to make one new relationship during vacation. Challenge you to make one new relationship during vacation. Your hat's very colorful. Did you paint that? I'm curious what you mean by relationship. I did not paint it, but this is a throwback hat. It's from my aunt, I think, had it in the 90s, gave it to my grandmother, and after my grandmother passed, we were looking at the stuff she had left over, and I just loved the crap out of this hat. This is authentic 80s or 90s right here, not recreated. You can tell on the inside it's got this weird mesh thing going on. so it makes like the crown of it kind of pointy. So no, I didn't paint it, but I certainly love wearing it. Oh, you're in 8th grade. Cool. Is that from Lowe's? No, the hat is not from Lowe's. Well, I think that's all I got for today, unless you guys have any other questions. Damn, I think I have bags under my eyes. Ooh. Tomorrow, I'm planning on finishing off writing my next. So I did all the recording for it. I'm thinking that I have enough content that I can finish editing it, but I'm gonna wake up early tomorrow, planning on finishing up my music video, and I do want to produce the SoHCAHTOA rap song this week. I think one of the things that's been stopping me has been perfection. That one always gets me, is whenever I try to perfect something, it just takes me forever and I don't execute on it. So I do plan on dropping that by the end of this week. It's not going to be perfect. Might even be mediocre, but I really want to produce it. Don't leave. What do you guys want me to talk about, man? I don't know what else you wanted me to discuss. Let me eat this chocolate and I'll think for a minute. I'll be sure to watch you more. Thanks, Reed. Tell me what you guys want me to talk about. I don't have to leave yet. You got a hot boyfriend? Remember my wife? What do you guys want me to talk about? I don't know what you mean by my hot boyfriend. See if I have anything to talk about in here. Nothing too interesting going on here. This is sort of the cave that my father-in-law built. Let's see. So we got the Bowflex back there. Got treadmill back there, along with his right there. It's a cycling machine. He's an avid cyclist. Back there we got some Christmas lights. We got a foosball table. I'm pretty ill with the foosball table. We got the ping pong board set up back there. I don't know if you can tell. Got some Patriots memorabilia. Only one of the pieces was mine. I have one of the Super Bowl hats is mine in the mini helmet. The Revolution football helmet's mine. More Patriots stuff, Chelmsford stuff, Patriots stuff. Over there, that's the, where is it? Right there. That's the Muhammad Ali and Frazier Life magazine thing. I don't know anything about the guitar back there, but it's supposed to be pretty expensive. That's the TV, and yep, just more sports memorabilia. There's a couch right in front of me. I'm actually sitting at the, they remodeled the kitchen. This is the island that they used to have upstairs. Cool house. Yeah, this isn't my house. Where I'm staying with my in-laws at my in-laws' house this week. We're dog sitting, and they're paying us for it because, so they're going on vacation down to Florida. So instead of paying to board the dogs, we're just gonna live in here for a couple days and take care of the dogs so that they don't have to pay for them and give us the money instead. Let's see. Don't leave. You have a big hour. House. Big house. That's cool house. Cool house. Are you watching The Office? I had been watching The Office, but part of me was just getting like, I don't know, something about The Office. I just feel depressed about my life when I watch it because I just don't feel like it's time well spent here. Like it's funny, but I don't honestly find myself like laughing my face off from The Office. It's like entertaining, but I'm just not at all inspired by it. Westworld we watched, that was awesome. My glasses I got them for free. There's no, it does not change the sight of anything. It's just plastic. that does not change anything. Stranger Things I did enjoy. Yeah, I think we binge watched those. Actually, no, we didn't binge watch those. We saved those night after night for like 2 weeks. That was I enjoyed that show. All right, it's bedtime. What time is it? I don't have a watch. I don't know how to check the time without closing out of this. All right, I'm heading out for the night. I'm thinking, what what time should I? I'm thinking I might live stream almost every day this week. I'm thinking maybe like I don't know. I'm considering upload. I'm considering trying to do a daily thing Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Just so by Friday people know when I'm coming on, but I haven't figured that out yet. So let me know in the comments or the chat what would be like an optimal time if I were to live stream. I'm thinking during the school day, just because that's when my wife is she's at work, and so I would get to be with a lot of the students and stuff that normally would be in school. 1 p.m. No, don't leave by, don't leave yeet. I'll consider that. I'll post it on Twitter or something. I forget what I've changed my Twitter a couple of times. I think it's like Extra Watson or something. Maybe I can tweet it ahead of time. All right. Thank you for watching. If you like this, give it a like. If you enjoyed this and you got some value for yourself and you know some other people, for some of the people on here, they said that they shared it with others. So if you got something out of this and you know other people that might get something out of this, share it with them. That means the world to me when people are referred because they've gotten something out of it.